Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai 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 Jai Ram
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Also, Shraddha, Shraddha, Shraddha.
Should I call it?
She's call him.
Shri Ram
Shri Ram,
Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. What is to be shared today? What did you do?
Swamiji, net is there, 1 minute. No need to connect that.
Today also we have received an email.
1 second, Swamiji. I will switch on. This is off. 1 second, Swamiji. Now.
Today also we received an email addressed to the Lord, no? Dear Lord, as soon as something wrong occurs in me or around me, the thought comes that it is a gift of yours. I like a little distance, decipher the message to understand it. It might take some time to thank you, but in the background, gratitude is there. Through every day, wonderful messages are given to us. Normally, when adverse situations come up, we become upset. We hardly bring the God dimension there, because we will be cursing or blaming or finding fault with either persons or situations or objects. But here we find every such message, Papa is telling us what should be our attitude while passing through testing moments, trying moments, stressful moments. As soon as something wrong occurs in me or around me, the thought comes that it's a gift of yours. I take a little distance, decipher the message to understand. What does it mean? What is taking the little distance? I try to raise myself to a higher level. That is the distance. When you are in the problem, when you have identified with the problem, it is difficult to see the result. But when we rise ourselves above a little higher than our platform, just like what we see now from the ground level, we may see so many things that are okay, that are not okay. But when we go to terrace or to a mountain top, everything looks beautiful. The so-called adverse things do not dominate our thoughts. Not that it is not there. We get elated, we get joy, we become joyful by seeing the entire panorama, a panoramic view. And in that view, this gets, smaller and smaller. And we don't recognize even. From the mountaintop, we don't recognize. From the aircraft, when we look at the ground, whenever the plane comes, not beyond certain level, you will be only seeing the clouds. But after that, you can see beautiful, especially after taking off. So this is the message he gives. I take a little distance. And because then I am not identifying myself with that problem. So I don't blame any individual, I don't blame any situation, I don't blame any object straight away. But it takes time. Initially, because of the baggage we are carrying, we might slip into it. But here, devotee writes, I take a little distance, decipher the message to understand it. It might take some time to thank you, but in the background, gratitude is there. A superb message, See, all because of this in-depth study of In Quest of God, where he is not giving us abstract tall talk, abstract things, because he brings it out through simple anecdotes, very simple anecdotes. And we know that he was able to take everything in a positive way only because he had done the preparatory work. That 1920 to 22 period, 2 years period, intensely trying to remember him throughout the waking time. and to know that He is behind everything. So not merely chanting. We also have been chanting. But we did not understand when Papa said chanting is for remembrance. That is why after the chanting, our sense of individuality comes back to us again with all its baggage. So today's message is also very, very thought-provoking, inspiring, elevating. As soon as something wrong occurs, in me or around me, the thought comes that it's a gift of yours. I take a little distance, decipher the message to understand it. It might take some time to thank you, but in the background, gratitude is there. Tuja Nideva, Tujachi Garava. That's how they approach the message. So spirituality in daily life, He is behind. So we must try various means. Yesterday we were talking about this importance of opening up a channel between us and Him. Though He is there, we are not aware that He is there. Though He is behind everything, we are not aware that He is behind everything. We take it that everything originates from the small me. But this in-depth study of Beloved Papa's In Quest of God, is slowly revealing to us that the most important thing is somehow we try to remember Him by any means. So Nama chanting should enable us to keep up that constant remembrance. So while chanting, though we may not be able to bring in this dimension throughout that period, whenever it is possible, we try to insert this, We are chanting the name of one who is within us, who is making us to chant, so that we will remember Him and bring in His dimension behind every thought, every word, every deed. And the prayer should be as far as possible in our own language. Though initially we draw the benefit from the prayers composed by Mahatmas, composed in the sense that was their revelation, not for composing a poem. It was their revelation, which they expressed in the form of prayer for the posterity, for the people like us. But we thought by repeating that prayer we will get it. That we know we will not. So we have to draft our own prayer, talk to Him in our own language, so that the live wire is kept, Switch on your wire for direct communication. That's what he said, Why do you deny Him in your heart? So when I am seeking guidance from others, forgetting that others are also an expression of Him, I will not be able to derive the fullest benefit. So I have to draw inspiration from the indwelling reality. Even if that is expressed through an outer form, I should know the inner reality in me and Him is same. So it is the inner reality. Now when we read this, we are not taking that noble devotee who has sent this, but God is telling us through that devotee. which will give a push to our sadhana. Something like, somebody pats on our back, well done, Because this is an outcome of the sadhana, of the in-depth study, all these 11 months. So we have to, again, we request that some way we try to develop this channel of communication. And when once this channel of communication has been established, we will not feel disconnected with him. Even after we go through the labeled sadhana called chanting, because we are always there. He is also making us to chant. That's all. He is also making us to chant. He is also making us to do so many things. He is also making us to discharge our responsibilities when he has placed us in the family level, professional level, social level. So along with that, every time we try to somehow see. As she said, it may take a little time for us to bring in when it is coming from outside. But we will keep on trying. That is the message Papa is giving us through this devotee. Anybody else? Anything else?
Swami, can you explain the verse of Puja Mataji, the latest vision, Swamiji? We can explain, Swamiji.
Latest vision. It is here.
Latest means?
November.
Verse of Puja Mataji, the page number 12. Remember, I document put on there. The experiment कर रहा था.
December has not been posted,
November.
Mataji says, until and unless we get an intense craving to realize Papa, he will not reveal himself in our heart. When we evince a keen hunger for Papa, it means that the Kundalini has risen beyond the navel and is proceeding toward the heart center. From what I can see among the people here, none has gone beyond the navel stage, as none is exhibiting such a keen hunger for Papa. When the Kundalini rises to the heart center, we are seized with such a hunger for the Guru that we only want the Guru, nothing but our Guru. If we are to develop such a hunger for Papa, we should first devote our body, mind and wealth to him. We can dedicate our mind to him only if we first learn to offer him our body and limbs by serving him in many forms around us. In my case, I had no wealth, but Papa made me work and serve him in many forms around me with my body and limbs. This helped me to go within and concentrate my mind on Him and Him alone. Even these early stages in our sadhana, like being ready to expend our body and wealth in His service, can come to us only by chanting His name. That is why I am after everyone here, asking them to repeat more and more Ram Nam. Instead of paying any heed to my words, most people tell me vehemently, "Oh, don't worry, I am always repeating Ram Nam." If this were a fact, why don't I see any external signs that should always become evident with intense chanting of Ram Nam? Moreover, how can you hope to progress towards Papa if every request of mine to chant more and more Ram Nam is greeted with a bland statement that you are already doing it? Indeed, we should never be satisfied with whatever little progress we have made, but strive continuously to rise higher and higher, praying to Papa all the time to take us higher and higher. If we rest on our laurels, then we are bound to fall down and lose even the little height we might have gained. For this, we have to be constantly on our guard by chanting Ram Nam and praying to Papa all the time to take us to Him. For this, we have to be constantly on our guard by chanting Ram Nam and praying to Papa all the time to take us to Him. We are all growing older and older day by day. Any day, today, tomorrow, or the day after, the call may come and we will have to go. Then one more life will have ended without our achieving what we have come on earth to achieve, namely Papa's eternal Swarup. So even if we experience fleeting moments of spiritual exhilaration, we should not be under the mistaken impression that we have risen high on the spiritual ladder and become smug over this, because it is such a feeling that is bound to pull us down and down. Our effort should all the time be to rise higher and higher. A young Canadian Indian who had been here for some days, came to Mataji to take leave. She gave him a packet of sweets and prasad, asking him to keep the latter with him always, the prasad packet. Then Mataji told him, whatever work you do it as his service. Keep your mind always on him by bringing into your mind his universal attributes such as thou art infinite, thou art eternal, thou art all-pervading, and so on. Pray to such a Supreme Being to reveal Himself in your heart. Let His name be ever on your lips. Canadian, does this mean that I should dedicate all my work to Him? Mataji, yes, you have to consider all that you do as His service. So Mataji is making it very clear, no? We may be feeling that we are chanting Ram Nam. But what Mataji said was the chanting should enable us to remember Him, no? The first step is to somehow habituate our mind to chant, whether it gets concentration or not. Having made it as a habit, we should not take it lightly. It should not be parrot-like, superficial, lip level. Each one can define, Each one can define what is to be scaled. So, when we were drafting out a small book on the in-depth study, what is the zenith of our ordinary people? We don't want to bring in big words, words that are easily understood. That is peace and serenity within, absence of otherness without. My Ram Nam should enable me to experience peace and serenity within. My Ram Nam should enable me to see Everybody has mind, absence of otherness, outside. Everybody does not mean only human beings. It includes all creations. At least we are clear about the ideal. So Mataji wanted this, and she said intense craving should be there, then only this will come. For that, what we should do, what we should avoid, each one has to decide. When we look back to our master's life, we find there were so many self-denials. So, whether are we right in inferring that whether our creature comforts, because we don't deny anything for ourselves, in fact we demand so many things for ourselves, unknowingly. We want this, we want that, this is not right, that is not right. We want to assert our individuality. In that process, outwardly we may be, feeling that we have self-denial. There are a lot of self-denials. Certainly not. Self-denial does not mean absence of the comfort zones. It means we are giving provision, we are giving space for everybody. So whenever we come out, involuntarily, and when we are creating disturbance in the minds of others, that means we are still in the comfort zones. We need a lot of clarity, as we keep on progressing, not merely the outer creature comforts. Because he is also showing to us the people who seem to be apparently in the midst of creature comforts, they still have love for all of. The care and concern is there, humbleness and humility is there, self-effacement is there. So Mataji wants us, when Mataji says we have to read in between also, in between the lines. Between the lines, what is conveyed to us. Unless and until we get an intense craving to realize Papa, He will not reveal Himself in our heart. When we evince a keen hunger for Him, it means that the Kundalini has risen beyond the navel and is progressing toward the heart center. Let us not get stuck with the Kundalini rays, It is not that we are articulating something. When we progress, automatically the Kundalini will rise by itself. If you are always thinking about the bodily pleasures, the sense pleasures, that means our Kundalini is still at the Mooladhara. So let us not, though Mataji brings this, let us not think, it is to be done by us. No. Our job is to somehow pray to Him, cry to Him, appeal to Him. Why don't you please give us the intensity? When you have made us aware of everything intellectually, and we got thoroughly convinced that whatever is happening only by your will, still, from the academic level, I am unable to move to the experiential level. Please bless me. Any other portion in this letter? Huh?
ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದಜಿ. That's all.
And this word we should never forget from this article. We should never be satisfied with whatever little progress we have made, but strive continuously to rise higher and higher.
Yes, sir, yes.
Praying to Papa all the time to take us higher and higher. He may give us glimpses, pat on our back. We may feel thrilled. But Mataji wants, don't halt. आगे चलो. Go forward, go forward. No? Okay, today who is going to sing? Sitama can sing, you know. Whatever you feel comfortable.
She feels comfortable.
ಭವಾನಿ ಆಂಟಿ, ಶೀತಲ್ ಆಂಟಿ ಹಾಡು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಇವಾಗ? ನಿನ್ನೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ I will sing one song.
You can sing. I will put on this thing. Our great Shruti is going to render us by.
Take mic.
Take.
Take.
One or two, Swamiji?
Sri Krishna ji also can try. Udar.
Udara Tumasinda. No need. I will finish it. Swamiji, one I will finish.
You sing.
Ram Jaya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Dasana Madiko Yenna Swami Sasira Namada Venkataramana. Dasana Madiko Yenna Swami Sasira Namada Venkataramana. Dasana Madiko Yenna. ದುರ್ಬುದ್ಧಿಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿಸೋ ಇನ್ನ ಕರುಣ ಕವಚವೆನ್ನ ಹರಣಕ್ಕೆ ತೋಡಿಸೋ. ದುರ್ಬುದ್ಧಿಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿಸೋ ಇನ್ನ ಕರುಣ ಕವಚವೆನ್ನ ಹರಣಕ್ಕೆ ತೋಡಿಸೋ. ಚರಣ ಸೇವೆ ಎನಗೆ ಕೊಡಿಸೋ ಅಭಯ. ಚರಣ ಸೇವೆ ಎನಗೆ ಕೊಡಿಸೋ ಅಭಯ. ಕರಪುಷ್ಪವನ್ನೆನ್ನ ಶಿರದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಡಿಸೋ. ಕರಪುಷ್ಪವನ್ನೆನ್ನ ಶಿರದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಡಿಸೋ. ದಾಸನ ಮಾಡಿಕೋ ಎನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸಾಸಿರ ನಾಮದ ವೆಂಕಟರಮಣ. ದಾಸನ ಮಾಡಿಕೋ ಎನ್ನ. ದೃಢ ಭಕ್ತಿ ನಿನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡಿ ನಾ ಅಡಿಗೆರೆ ಭುವನಯ್ಯ ಅನುದಿನ ಪಾಡಿ. ದೃಢ ಭಕ್ತಿ ನಿನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡಿ ನಾ ಅಡಿಗೆರೆ ಭುವನಯ್ಯ ಅನುದಿನ ಪಾಡಿ. ಕಡೆಗಣ್ಣಲೇಕೆನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಬಿಡುವೆ. ಕಡೆಗಣ್ಣಲೇಕೆನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಬಿಡುವೆ.
ವೆಂಕಟರಮಣ ದಾಸನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊ ಎನ್ನ ಮೊರೆ ಒಕ್ಕವರ ಕಾವ ಬಿರುದು ಎನ್ನ ಮರೆಯದೆ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಯ ಪೊರೆದು ಮೊರೆ ಒಕ್ಕವರ ಕಾವ ಬಿರುದು ಎನ್ನ ಮರೆಯದೆ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಯ ಪೊರೆದು ದುರಿತಗಳೆಲ್ಲವ ತರಿದು ಸಿರಿ ದುರಿತಗಳೆಲ್ಲವ ತರಿದು ಸಿರಿ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲ ಎನ್ನನು ಪೊರೆದು ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲ ಎನ್ನನು ಪೊರೆದು ದಾಸನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊ ಎನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸಾಸಿರ ನಾಮದ ವೆಂಕಟರಮಣ ದಾಸನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊ ಎನ್ನ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಜಯ ರಾಮ ಜಯ ಜಯ ರಾಮ ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಜಯ ರಾಮ ಜಯ ಜಯ ರಾಮ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಜಯ ರಾಮ ಜಯ ಜಯ ರಾಮ ಓಂ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಜಯ ರಾಮ ಜಯ ಜಯ ರಾಮ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ಜಯ ರಾಮ ಜಯ ಜಯ ರಾಮ.
ಹರಿ ಓಂ.
Ananda.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri 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 Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om माय बाप कृपावंत, माय बाप कृपावंत, माय बाप कृपावंत, माय बाप कृपावंत, उदार तुम्ही संत, उदार तुम्ही संत. केवढा केला उपकार काय बनूनी पामर, केवढा केला उपकार काय बनूनी पामर, काय बनूनी पामर, उदार तुम्ही संत, उदार तुम्ही संत. जड जीवा उद्धार केला मार्ग दाविला सुपंत, जड जीवा उद्धार केला मार्ग दाविला सुपंत, मार्ग दाविला सुपंत, उदार तुम्ही संत, उदार तुम्ही संत. सेना म्हणे उतराई होता काही दिसेना, सेना म्हणे उतराई होता काही दिसेना, होता काही दिसेना, उदार तुम्ही संत, उदार तुम्ही संत.
राम जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री 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 राम जय राम, जय जय राम. गुरु विना नाही दुजा दार, गुरु विना नाही दुजा दार. पडता होते अडका, तोच नेतसे पार, नाही दुजा दार. गुरु विण नाही दुजा दार. गुरु परमेश्वर गुरु माऊली, गुरु परमेश्वर गुरु माऊली, सदा कृपेची देई सावली, सदा कृपेची देई सावली. भक्तांसाठी गुरु ओवुनी, भक्तांसाठी गुरु ओवुनी, देव घेई अवतार, नाही दुजा दार. गुरु विण नाही दुजा दार. स्मरण करावे नाम वदावे, स्मरण करावे नाम वदावे, वंदन करिता प्रेम पावे. गुरु माऊली सुख दे अपरंपार नाही तुझ्या दार गुरु बिन नाही तुझ्या दार गुरु बिन नाही तुझ्या दार
मन कर थोड़ा मन कर थोड़ा मन कर
You want the lyrics?
I will give Swamiji, I will give.
नाही तुझ्या
Sridhar uncle. ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ
ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕು.
थोड़ा मन दर्पण कहलाए थोड़ा मन दर्पण कहलाए थोड़ा मन दर्पण कहलाए भले बुरे सारे कर्मों को भले बुरे सारे कर्मों को देखे और दिखाए तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए मन ही देवता मन ही ईश्वर मन से बड़ा न कोई मन ही देवता मन ही ईश्वर मन से बड़ा न कोई मन उजियारा जब जब फैले जग उजियारा होए इस उजले दर्पण पर प्राणी धूल न जमने पाए तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए सुख की कलिया दुख के काटे मन सबका आधार सुख की कलिया दुख के काटे मन सबका आधार मन से कोई बात मेरा मन से जग से छाटे बाग रे कोई मन से बाग न पाए मन दर्पण कहलाए तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए
ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಧದ ಮನ ಕ್ಲೇಶವ ಕಳೆಯುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಧದ ಮನ ಕ್ಲೇಶವ ಕಳೆಯುವ ಉಲ್ಲಲೋಚನ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣನು ಧರಿಸಿದ ಹೂಬೇಕೆ ಪರಿಮಳದ ಹೂ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ತೋಟದ ಹೂಬೇಕೆ ದಾರದಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಮಾರು ಹಾಕುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ದಾರದಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಮಾರು ಹಾಕುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಕೇರಿ ಕೇರಿಯಲಿ ಮಾರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ದಾರದಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಮಾರು ಹಾಕುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಕೇರಿ ಕೇರಿಯಲಿ ಮಾರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಉಲ್ಲಲೋಚನ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ತೋಟದ ಉಲ್ಲಲೋಚನ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ತೋಟದ ಮಾರೆಂದು ಕೇಳಿದ ಸೌರಿಯ ಸೊಬಗಿನ ಮಾರೆಂದು ಕೇಳಿದ ಶೌರ್ಯ ಸೊಬಗಿನ ಹೂಬೇಕೆ ಪರಿಮಳದ ಹೂ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ತೋಟದ ಹೂಬೇಕೆ ರಂಗು ರಂಗುಗಳಿಂದ ಕಂಗೊಳಿಸುವ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಬಂಗಾರದ ಛವಿ ಹಂಗಿಸುವ ರಂಗು ರಂಗುಗಳಿಂದ ಕಂಗೊಳಿಸುವ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಬಂಗಾರದ ಛವಿ ಹಂಗಿಸುವ ಶೃಂಗಾರ ಸಿಂಧು ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ಶ್ರೀಮಾಧವ ಶೃಂಗಾರ ಸಿಂಧು ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ಶ್ರೀಮಾಧವ ನಂಗ್ರಿಯ ಸಂಗದಿ ಮಂಗಳಕರವಾದ ಅಂಗ್ರಿಯ ಸಂಗದಿ ಮಂಗಳಕರವಾದ ಹೂಬೇಕೆ ಪರಿಮಳದ ಹೂ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ತೋಟದ ಹೂಬೇಕೆ.
Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Pranam, pranam, pranam. Hari Om. Pranam. Pranam, pranam. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Yeah, we're going to the hill. We're going to the hill. Hill, hill. ಈಗ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬಂತದೆ. ಪಿಚ್ಚು ಲೂಸ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಪಿಚ್ಚು ಹೋಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಈ ಸಾಂಗು. ನಾನು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ. ಸುಶೀಲಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಈಸಿ ಅಂತ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಹಾಂ ಹಾಂ, ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ, ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ. ರಾಗ ಮಾಡಿದೆ.